Many thanks for your company. In our first story, 37-year-old Mabel Sinahe is accusing the Tema General Hospital for medical negligence after her 10-year-old son died from taking the wrong dosage of a painkiller called naclofene. Madame Sinahe says a doctor at the hospital prescribed 50 milligrams of the pain-relieving medicine, but the pharmacist gave her 75 milligrams. The mother of two says she reported the anomaly to the medical doctor, but after watching the medicine carefully, she approved it. Madame Sinahe says her son complained of heartburns, excessive sweating and extreme pains in the throat before he passed away. Family members who took the body to another hospital for postmortem on Tuesday reported blood was oozing from the nose and ears of the boy. Joy News' Maxwell Agbaba is at the hospital and joins us on the line. Hello, Maxwell.
Yes.
Earlier, you were with the family of the deceased. What more do we know about the death of this young boy?
Well, what we know, what we learned is that he went actually on the vacation classes. So the incident happened on the 30th of August when he went for vacation classes. His mom tells me that he has warned him many times not to play football because he has had surgery before. So they actually warned him not to play, engage himself in any game of football. So on that particular day, on the 30th of August, he went for vacation classes and went to play football. Now, he didn't complain of any pains until the 3rd of September when he started complaining of severe pains in his leg. So that was the point that his parents took him, brought him here to the General Hospital. Now, the mom, Mabel Sinahe, tells me that after they brought the boy to the hospital, they prescribed a medicine, that's the naclofene medicine for him, naclofene, I must say, for him. She tells me that they prescribed 75 milligrams of that particular medicine, 50 milligrams for the boy. So at that point when it was 75, she went back to the doctor to complain about it because the prescription that was given to her was 50 milligrams. When she went to the doctor to complain about it, normally the doctor, after carefully looking at the medication, told her that she can go back and then add the drug to his son. She said, so they went back, and then the son has been taking the medicine took the medicine for some 3 days. So shortly after taking the medicine on the second day, I'm told, that was when the boy started complaining of severe heartburns and then pains in the throat and then excessive sweat, usually during the night. So they brought him back to the hospital here, the Tema General Hospital. He was admitted here at the facility, and that was the point that he gave up and passed on.
All right.
The mom actually tells me that they've lost trust in the Tema General Hospital, so they do not even want the hospital to carry out the postmortem to actually determine the real cause of the death of the boy. But she's saying that her son was given an overdose of that particular medicine. She tells me that yesterday they actually transferred the body to a hospital in Bato, in the Volta region, where a postmortem will be carried out. But now she's accusing the Tema General Hospital of killing her son.
But what are the hospital authorities saying, Maxwell?
Well, Bennett, we've been trying to get a response from the Tema General Hospital. The administrator, I'm told, is in a meeting. But I visited the pharmacy of the hospital and inquired from one of the attendants there whether a 10-year-old can take naclofene. Her first response actually was that no, before she asked me whether the person I'm making the inquiry for has taken medicine already. When I said yes, then she added that I should not worry. He will be fine. Then later, a male colleague also came around and was telling me that it actually depends. That when a child is overweight, then you can give him naclofene. But if he's not overweight, then you'd have to be careful about how you administer the medicine to somebody who is 10 years. But right now, we're still waiting in front of the training center here at the Tema General Hospital. We here at the meeting, the administrator is engaged in another meeting here. So we're waiting so we can get some clarification and some response from the Tema General Hospital on this particular issue.
Maxwell, is the family willing to take action on this matter?
Well, when I asked, the mother actually tells me that she's a widow, and she tells me that her husband actually died. Husband died a year ago, and they were 3 before this one died. So now she just has 2 children. She's saying that looking at the circumstance and looking at how she spent a lot of resources on this boy before he passed away, and looking at the fact that she's the only breadwinner in her family, she thinks that she does not really want to go out to go and waste any resources trying to seek legal redress. But all she wants from the Tema General Hospital is for them to admit that they are the ones who administer the drug to and it's that medicine that caused the death of her son, Dennis.
Thank you very much, Maxwell Agbagba. He's still staying there at the Tema General Hospital. To get some information or the side of the hospital on this matter, you'll be updated in subsequent bulletins. Now, the Conference of Heads of Private Second Cycle Institutions, CHOPS, is demanding government includes private schools in the computerized school selection and placement system, CSSPS. They are dismayed at government's failure to include the private sector in the free SHS policy. The heads lament private sector exclusion from delivery of secondary education, while private participation is encouraged in other areas. Joseph Jamesi is the General Secretary for the conference.
Proposals to government. We believe that every attempt must be made to protect the existence of private senior high schools, since it is clear that government alone cannot absorb all JHS students who graduate yearly. If all private SHS close down, access to secondary education for over 50,000 students currently enrolled in private SHS will be jeopardized. It is also clear that private senior high schools contribute significantly, not only to the educational sector, but also in the areas of job creation and to the growth of the economy. We therefore call on government to, as a matter of urgency, one, include private SHS among the schools listed on the self-placement website. Our schools should be tagged private, and parents should be informed that when a private school is selected, the student will have to pay the school fees. With this, a student who may not be happy with his or her placement, or a student who is not able to find a school that he or she likes, may select a private school on that website and go to that private school. Secondly, we call on government to extend its policy on free SHS to cover students in private senior high schools also. We understand that government may not want to invest directly into private schools. We therefore suggest that the amount of money earmarked per student to attend senior high schools be granted to the student, whether he or she attends a public or private senior high school. The investment is in the Ghanaian child, not in the school.
Imagine losing your father and mother in the space of 2 months at a time you're unemployed with siblings younger than yourself, yet support from family members is not forthcoming. This is the story of a 26-year-old unemployed graduate forced to shoulder the responsibilities of parenthood. Today on Joy News Agenda, we put the spotlight on this family that will be benefiting from government's free SHS program. Joy News' Joseph Akable has the rest of the story.
We graduated in July. We're waiting to start our national service, and then in September I lost my daddy. Came back from my daddy's funeral. A week later I lost my mom too. Yeah, so my mommy was in November. My daddy died in September.
The events that changed the life of the 26-year-old for good. The fresh KNUST graduate became the breadwinner for her 3 siblings. She tells me of her greatest fear at the time.
It wasn't easy at all. If I say it was easy, then that would be a very big lie. I thought my world had come to an end. I was just imagining how my siblings and I were going to cope, because I have 3 younger siblings after me, and it was just too much for me to bear at that point in time. I thought it was all a dream, and every day I hope I'll just wake up and then find them around, but then had to come to bear with the fact that they are gone and gone forever.
For most African families, the extended family system becomes useful. Distant relatives provide support in such circumstances. Amma says this has not been forthcoming.
It's not been that much, but the few who can do something, like they usually help sometimes. But it's not like, you know, even if somebody will help you, it wouldn't be like your parents being around. You understand? Yes, they feel for you. Probably they don't help because they don't have the means. You get it? That's how I can put it, right? They also have other responsibilities and they wish they could help, but they can't really help. And those who are helping will not help to the standard of your parents. You get my point?
Then came the good news. She vividly recalls her reaction.
In 3 weeks' time, the free senior high school is going to roll out and become a reality in the lives of our country.
I first heard it during the campaign. Okay, I think it was part of their campaign promises, and it's a very good idea that if they are actually going to do what they are going to do, it will be a very great idea. Okay, because there are many people out there who have really passed. Okay, they have the brains to go to school, but here lies the case: the money is not there. You get my point?
Her sister Little Joyce, who will be pursuing a visual arts program in a school in Accra, is equally excited.
I'm happy because I have only except for my two sisters. They are unemployed and they are working harder to get a job. So I'm happy that the prayers agency is coming because it will cut down pressure on them and it will they will get
So they will be able to get money to get you provisions and other things.
Yes. Yeah. And even my younger sister.
Government has already stated that the policy will be run on a scholarship basis with a 3-year offer to students. Both Amma and Joyce agree students must give it their best shot. Amma also has some advice for young Joyce.
I've always told her she knows where she's coming from and then where she wants to be. Okay. The fact that our parents are not alive doesn't mean you can't do what you want to do in life, because people have already gone through worse things that we have gone through, but they have survived it. And if they have survived, you can also survive. Everything boils down to their mind. I've been telling her her mind is a battlefield that she needs to be working on all the time. Okay, she tells herself, I can make it because people have made it. She can. And then she should know the kinds of friends she mingles with when she goes to school. That's very, very important.
When you're not showing, when you're not doing well, yes, they have to let you pay because you are not improving them.
And you expect that within 3 years you should be able to complete pass so that your sister doesn't need to pay again.
Yes, I have to make them proud of me.
And by being proud, you mean what?
I have to pay success.
So that is a family that will be benefiting from government's flagship free senior high school education program. The expectation remains that it is rolled out as promised to ensure that it relieves them just like they are currently expecting that to be done. Reporting for Joy News, my name is Joseph Akable.
That's Joseph Akable's story. We'll quickly bring you more here because the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development has spoken for the first time since Joy News broke a series of investigative reports chronicling how the local government awarded a number of shady contracts to subsidiaries of the Jospon Group. 9 months of painstaking investigations nationwide revealed various district assemblies have been short-changed by bloated contracts for the supply of waste bins, fumigation, exercise and decongestion of landfill sites of the various assemblies. This has prompted a CID probe, but Deputy Local Government Minister Osei Bonsu Amoa has been speaking to Joy News' Komladum for the first time on the matter. He confirms the ministry has received a draft report from the Public Procurement Authority on some of these questionable contracts.
We have a Financial Management Act, we have the Procurement Act, and we have the policy on PPP. Most often you hear these things, but you could see that we have not really studied these documents into detail. So in order to help them, we want to break it down, just remind them that these are the guidelines that you should follow when it comes to procurement, or when it comes to PPP, or when it comes to the other aspects like the Public Financial Management Act. So those are the critical things that we're doing. And of course, we want to bring the new model standing orders because the present one is a bit old and outdated, especially regarding the
You're watching Joy News today. Let's take you now to a shaman, and it's the first day at school for thousands of children across the country, and they get to have their own experience because the second lady is visiting some of them. Emefa Dradosi is with the second lady. Hello, Emefa. Well, let's hear what the second lady is telling these pupils.
So God was taking his coat. The coat was lost. Fox felt bad. He did not like to see goat. So he got some new wool and mended the coat. Fox ran back. He put the coat on the goat, but goat spotted Fox's shoes. Goat took the socks. Fox took the coat. Fox in a coat and goat in socks. That's the end of the story. Did you enjoy the story? So what does the story tell you? Don't be mean to people because it makes them sad, and you don't want to make your friends sad, right? And you have to also learn to share with each other. So next time I come, who will read a book to me? Who will read me a story next time I come? Nobody? You clever boy. Give me 5. What's your name? Mohammed Salifu. Good. Clap for Mohammed. He's the only one who promised to read me. So I'll come back so you read me a book, okay? So thank you so much for having me. We brought you some crayons, some coloring books, some pencil, things to help you to settle in. Start your first day at school well. Like spring to learn hard and be the best you can be, okay? All right. Clap for yourself. Thank you very much.
We are so grateful for your visit and your gifts. And we say that we'll forever remember this day. Thank you so much. And thank you to my bosses too. We are grateful.
Thank you for having me.
So that was wife of Ghana's Vice President Samira Baumia reading to some pupils at a shaman. Let's cross over to Adenta because some pupils there also have a story to share. Hello, Joseph Akable. Hello, Joseph, can you hear me? Hello? Well, we seem to be having a challenge with the line. So Joseph Akable is with the Minister of Education. Hello. Well, we'll reach him later and bring you some updates. He's with the Minister of Education and some officials as they also visit pupils going to school for the first time. Now, the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development is fashioning out a new model standing orders for the various metropolitan, municipal and district assemblies to minimize incidents of mismanagement and malfeasance. According to the ministry, the existing ones are outdated and must be updated. This comes on the heels of the Auditor General's report on the various assemblies which revealed deficiencies in the operations of the MMDAs, created avenues for some officials of the assemblies to mismanage funds and resources valued at approximately 70.1 million Ghana cedis. Deputy Local Government Minister and MP for Ikuapem South, Osei-Bonsu Amwa, who's been speaking at the launch of the second edition of the Guide to District Assemblies in Accra, believes these new models will help educate functionaries at the various MMDAs in the local administration process.
The 2016 Auditor General's report cited the management and members of staff of local assemblies for continuous violation of measures put in place to safeguard the public purse. In what has become a ritual of malfeasance annually detected by the Auditor General with little to show in the form of punitive actions against offenders, the report laid the blame at the doorstep of a Ministry of Local Government and management of various assemblies. It is against this backdrop that the ministry is, among others, fashioning out model standing orders to give meaning to the newly introduced Local Government Act 2016. Speaking at an event to launch the second edition of A Guide to District Assemblies in Ghana, co-published by the Institute of Local Government Studies and the Frederick Ebert Foundation, Deputy Local Government Minister Obi Amwa noted these new model standing orders are imperative in ensuring efficient and prudent management of resources.
The ministry on its part is preparing new model standing orders for the assemblies, simplified guidelines on procurement, financial management, public-private partnership arrangements, and the general administration of the assemblies. The guide to the district assemblies is certainly a very useful and credible addition to the literature on the local governance system.
Minor Dean of Studies and Research at the Institute of Local Government Studies, Dr. Eric Odrosain, believes it's long overdue, adding such guidelines would curb the raft of irregularities by MMDAs annually cited in the Auditor General's report.
I think they are on the right track. It should come faster so that we'll be able to ensure that the assemblies reduce irregularities in procurement and a number of things. They are on the right direction because, we have 5 public business areas of the district assemblies. The development of an annual action plan, conversion of the plan into a composite budget, spending of the budget through procurement and contracting, and then after that, reporting on it through accounting and then auditing. Each of these thematic areas requires specific guidelines to guide them, but some of them are not available. That is why we see and hear Auditor General coming up with a number of malfeasance and a number of irregularities. So what the ministry is trying to do is to ensure that they give them specific guidelines, they orient them on it, and provide continuous technical support to reduce or minimize some of these irregularities.
Resident Director of the Frederick Ebert Foundation, Fritz Kopska, is of a view functioning local governments is a key vehicle to deepening democratic participation and accountability.
Functioning local government is a key vehicle to bring the needed services to the people and deepen democratic participation. In fact, it is key to the legitimacy of the state, because if government resources, state resources, are not applied in order to better the lives of the people, no state has any legitimacy. And I believe that local government is a very important vehicle to reach this goal. There are many different rules, roles, laws, acts, and regulations governing the functioning of local assemblies. And in my mind, it is especially the elected assembly members that must take their oversight function of the assemblies very, very seriously to promote financial and social accountability.
The second edition of the Guide to District Assemblies in Ghana is aimed at empowering functionaries at the various MMDAs, government officials, and ordinary Ghanaians in their dealings with the local assemblies.
Let's focus on agriculture now. The USAID's Feed the Future Agriculture Technology Transfer ATT project is targeting a 40% increase in certified seed production in the 3 regions of the North by 2018. A 2013 survey conducted by the ATT revealed that the area had just a 10% certified seed production, which made it difficult for farmers to get the right seed to produce good yield. It is against this backdrop that the ATT project, which is being implemented by the International Fertilizer Development Center, IFDC, and funded by the USAID, supported a private business entity, Ghanoma Agro Company Limited, with a seed processing facility to augment the shortfall in these regions.
The new facility is expected to produce 8 tons of certified seed per hour and an average of 640 tons a day. Interacting with the media, Leader of Feed the Future USAID Ghana Agriculture Technology Transfer Project, Dr. Gary Mullins, is hopeful the private sector will seize the market opportunity and grow the capacity to produce the seed in Ghana.
A ripple effect as people see and the benefits of using certified seed as the demand increases. The private market will see the opportunities, the business opportunities in supplying certified seed, and the capacity of Ghana to produce it here at home rather than importing it. Seed that is adapted to the climatic conditions, the soil types, and to the needs and tastes of the Ghanaian consumer. So we have intentionally focused on working through the private sector and meeting consumer demands.
The President and Chief Executive Officer of IFDC, Dr. J. Scott Angles, said new varieties, when produced within their local environment, are able to withstand the pressure than when imported. He added it was economically prudent to breed the plants locally.
More expensive. You've lost all the value of that genetic improvement, breeding new seeds. That's the value of that now has been sent to some other country. It's not helping the economy of Ghana. But more particularly, when you breed locally for new plant varieties, they work well with the soil and they work well with the climate and they work well with the insects and the diseases and even the fertilizers that you have available here at this location. So plants that are bred in the state of Iowa in the United States or in the United Kingdom will not necessarily do well in this area, even though they may exhibit high yield.
Director of Global Field Programs, Robert Groot, said IFDC was helping farmers with the right technology, capacity and the market to ensure they get results.
We want to make sure that the farmers have the inputs. So we assist them in developing the fertilizer market and what we just showed here in developing access to seed as well. Then there is a lot of work to do on the field. It's good agricultural practices. And then again, Gary, in your project, the ATT project, we showcase a lot of good agricultural practices. It's not only how to get the seed, it's how to plant the rice, how to apply the fertilizer, how to transplant it appropriately. That's a good example. And then we know that farmers, they don't use fertilizers and they don't use seeds if they can make more money. They have to be in the position to sell their product. So IFDC works with farmers not only to link them to the seed and the fertilizer market, but also to sell their product on the output market.
The Chief Executive Officer of Ganoma Agrochemicals, Alhaji Ganiya Suleimana, said the facility will help them produce quality seeds in time for farmers.
Which business can give you a reward of 8,000 cedis with an investment capital of 5 cedis in 24 hours? It's lottery. But imagine you won this and find out the operator has absconded with your wins. Well, the NLA is working to curb such happenings by legalizing all lotto operators across the country. We take a look at the industry and how operators are responding to this new directive.
As a first-time lotto staker, I totally had no clue how this process worked. I walk to a vendor, make a few inquiries, and I'm told what is available.
So we have 73. 73, we want a counterpart of 73. So we subtract 45 for 73, which will earn us 28. So 28, each counterpart is 73. So when you come here, you see 28 and 73.
Oh, okay. But how often do people win this thing? How often do people win?
People do win, who do win a lot. Because we have 1 to 90 numbers, and each and everybody have its own plan. For instance, if you are working, you have your own plan. I have my own. My brother, everybody have his own plan. So at the end of the day, if you do not win, I will win. Somebody will win. So every day people are winning.
I then give out some random numbers, and we set the ball rolling. With the help of my friend Francis here, we just did the original 590 Lucky Tuesday. Now, we took 2 numbers, which they describe as the 2 sure, 6773. If you have your pennies, you actually write that down, you know. And so what it implies for me is, having used the National Lottery Authority's paper, my winnings are sure. When I should win with 1 Ghana cedi, I'm going to get 200 Ghana cedi. And having stick with the regulator, there's no way somebody's going to run away with my money. I would have to show up with this paper and take my winnings. So next time you are going out there and you want to see and try the original one, this is what it actually looks like, so that you can actually stick with the regulator and be sure that your winnings are protected. Play NLA Games guarantees player security, as players are assured of prompt payments no matter how big the win is. Unlike banker-to-banker operators who always abscond whenever there are big wins, or at best are likely to opt to pay paltry sums in the face of such big wins. So when it comes to staking the lottery, actually, what do people usually prefer, or yourself, what do you prefer, banker-to-banker or the NLA, and why?
For me, I prefer the NLA, but I go in for both the NLA and the banker-to-banker. I go in for NLA because when you win from NLA, your money is assured. Since I entered into the NLA business, the lotto business, I've never had someone that won lotto from NLA and his money have not been, he hasn't got his money. Any amount of money you win, so far as it is a genuine ticket, your money is assured and you receive your money. Just that banker to banker, because when you stake, you have a little commission from staking. If you want cedis from banker to banker, they pay 240 cedis. So I'm the staker, if I stake and I win and I'm going for the money, the writer will give me 220 cedis. But when you win that one cedi from NLA, you'll be given just 200 cedis. Oh, okay. So people watch these differences and they stay from the banker to banker. Okay. But the best advice I'll give them to is go to NLA. Maybe you follow these 20 Ghana cedis, that is on the 200 cedis. You will go and you will receive that 200 Ghana cedi itself too. But if you win that 200 cedi from NLA, your money is assured, you'll be given to you anytime, whenever you want.
There have been instances where people have run away with the money, so the banker to banker. Can you tell us a bit?
A lot. Just a year ago, even here, there was a friend here who used to write for people. He brought his own numbers out, 3 numbers. He gave to a lot of people to stake. They paid him. He went and closed. After the number dropped, he went in for the money and he ran away to South Africa. And up to date, he's not back in Ghana again. He's in South Africa. So he have used people's money to make life for himself. It do happen. It happened a lot. Even here, it has happened before.
Issues of fraud and non-payment have marred the industry, and that is why the National Lottery Authority is now seeking to bring all operators under one umbrella through a licensing regime. This move is expected to protect customers and streamline activities in the industry.
Now let's look at it. Previously, government was not getting any revenue from this operation, which, as you can see and tell, it's a large chunk of revenue that we have not been getting. By regularizing their current status, we bring them in line. They comply with the law, they are not breaking the law, and second, we are able to get revenue from them. And third, for the consumers or the customers who otherwise will stake with